So a question I get asked quite a lot is, where is Notro Client v4? If you don't know what Notro Client is, it's my own custom PvP client. It originally started out as a joke on my channel. I basically just reskinned a client with my logo. And yeah, it just kind of became a thing after that. So then what happened was quite interesting. I got in contact with a developer called Frosty, who's the same developer who makes the Technics client. And she was actually able to make me the very first version of Notro Client. It was extremely hyped up on my channel. Loads of people went crazy for it, and I can see why. It was a really good client. It had offline support, it had loads of mods. Well, it didn't have that many mods. Let's just see the first version of Notro Client right here. And yeah, the original Notro Client V1 was released on the 10th of September last year. So wow, it's been over a year. So yeah, this is the main menu of Notro Client. It's pretty much unchanged from what we see today. So yeah, it's kind of got my colors, you know, my logo, black and white theme. And yeah, it looks pretty good. And yeah, this is what gameplay looks like using the Notro Client. So these are all the mods that we had. Very basic to start off with: toggle sprint, keystrokes, animations, full bright, you know, all the stuff you kind of need really. About 11 mods in total. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. And a lot of people with low end PCs said that this client was really good for them just because it was so lightweight and it was really easy on performance. As you can see, my FPS in this video, I'm getting well over 1000 FPS. And yeah, it was just a really clean PvP experience. I mean, we had 1.7 animations, we had keystrokes. We also had a custom cape as well. As you can see, I'm rocking it here. Admittedly, only one design, and people who are also using the client can't see it. It's just client side, but it was still, you know, the start of something good. Now, the thing with Notro Client V1 was it was not customizable at all. You couldn't change the colors of the mods. I think you could move them around on your screen. But yeah, it was lacking quite a lot of mods that people wanted in the comments. And so not even that long after, on the 1st of October 2021, V2 was released. So V2 installed pretty much just like the old version. You just had to replace a couple of files. And yeah, this is the main menu, exact same as V1. Now, there was a really stupid glitch before with V1 where you got a white screen of death every time you tried to go to the menus on the home page. Look at that before. And yeah. And also when you're loading worlds as well, you got a big flash on the screen. But now in V2, we'd fix that so you can navigate through all the menus and load up worlds without it flashing. So with V2, we added so many more mods. We got stuff like block overlay, time changer, all the kind of mods that were requested in the comments section of the V1 release. And we now had settings. So look, you can change the colors here of the keystrokes. That was really good. Lots of people like that. You could also change the colors of like CPS and FPS. And you could also enable and disable the background as well. So yeah, this basically took Notro Client to a whole new level, really. We had all the mods that the community really wanted at the time. We had, you know, customizable keystrokes. So yeah, you could change the colors, you could drag them anywhere on your screen. We still had the original cape from V1. Again, only client side. Not much we could do about that. And yeah, doing PvP with Notro Client V2 was really good as well. You could turn the numbers off on the scoreboard. We had obviously old animations mods. So yeah, it was a really good client. And I still actually use V2 now. In fact, I didn't even realize that I wasn't using the latest version until very recently. So now we move on to the final version of Notro Client, and that is version 3. So this came out 10 months ago on the 3rd of December 2021. So yeah, quite a lot of new versions in a very short amount of time. So V3 bought a new installer. Loads of people had problems installing Notro Client before. I got so many questions and comments and messages on Discord about how to install Notro Client. So in this version, we included a launcher. Admittedly, a very basic one. I mean, if you just look at it here, there's literally 2 buttons: install client, close installer. Very basic, but it did work. But then after a while with this installer, it just somehow broke. Lots of people had problems with it, and I basically just redirected them to installing it manually, which caused loads of confusion because people didn't install Optifine, which it needs Optifine to run. And then people couldn't install Optifine because they hadn't got a vanilla 1.8.9 installation. It was just a mess. But once everyone had done all of that, this is what they were greeted with: Notro Client V3. So pretty much the exact same menu as V1 and V2, except we had a close button, which was highly requested for some reason. Even though the close button's literally just up there, you could just close the window through there. I guess if you're playing in full screen, it's quite useful. We also included like client buttons on the escape menu, so you could go to the mod mod menu easier, and also multiplayer as well. You could switch servers within the client. We also added module scale for the first time, so people on smaller monitors could change how big the mods are so they don't take up all of their screen. We had a really cool chroma mode, and there was also text shadow as well, which you could turn on and off as well. We also had the perspective mod, which was pretty cool. I think Luna doesn't even have perspective mods, or they might have added it back, I'm not too sure. So yeah, we got a little one up on Luna with perspective mod there. Ping display, time display, we had armor status as well. And yeah, they all had settings menus with them, and you could all customize them. Admittedly very basic, but it did the job for a lot of people, and I'm still quite happy with how Notro Client v3 is. Now, that has been the last version of Notro Client to date. It's been almost a year, that is crazy. And a lot of people have been asking me in my comments, on my Discords, in my messages, when is Notro Client v4 coming? And the answer to that, I kind of put off for a little bit talking about. I even said in the video, I don't think many people saw it, I said that basically it's going to be the last version for a while. I wasn't too sure how long a while was. I didn't realize it's almost been a year since then. And the main reason development halted on Notro Client v4 was because Frosty, the developer, was working on other projects. I did have a couple of offers from other clients, whether we wanted to kind of like merge, or I had developers coming from other clients asking if they wanted to make the latest version of Notro Client for me. And I ended up declining because I wasn't really too sure where I was going to take Notro Client on my channel. I didn't want my channel just to be like endless versions of Notro Client v4, v5, v6, you know, just constantly going up. And when I set out to do this client, I didn't really want it to rival stuff like Luna Client and Badline and all the big clients that you see out there. I just wanted it just to be a client for my audience to use, and a client that was good for people with low-end PCs. So yeah, and all these developers that were coming to me, they're always talking about adding like a shop and in-game cosmetics and like big flashy animations and stuff, and I just didn't really see Notro Client going down that path, to be honest. So yeah, Notro Client was a neglected project for almost a year now, until very recently. I've actually been in contact with Frosty, and we're thinking of doing something big with the next version of Notro Client. We're not going to call it v4 anymore, we're just going to go completely level up and go with the brand new Notro Client. Now, I don't really want to give too much away with what we're planning here, but ladies and gentlemen, a new version of Notro Client is in the works. I'm not going to say too much about it in this video, but what I do want you guys to do is go in the comments down below and tell me what mods you want on the next version of Notro Client. Now, bear in mind, we want to keep this client as minimal as possible. We don't want to go with big flashy mods and animations. Like, we don't want hundreds of mods. So just the kind of essential mods that you use. Now, one thing that is confirmed is this is not going to be Forge based. So you won't be able to add your own mods or anything like that. I know a lot of clients are going down that route right now, but the problem with Forge is the performance is pretty bad. So when you're launching the client, it'll take ages to start up. When you change your resource pack, it'll be really slow as well. And also performance on low-end PCs probably wouldn't be the best if we went down the Forge route. But what can I say here? Let's just say Technics and Notro Client are merging. So what that means is Notro Client's now officially going to have a launcher. So that's going to be really cool, and that will eliminate all the problems that we had before with you guys trying to install the client and all the comments and messages I got of people asking me to help them. So yeah, this will all be eliminated. You'll simply just be able to download the installer, run it on your computer, and just press launch, and Notro Client will open up. There's also going to be offline support as well for you guys on those types of accounts. So yeah, we're not moving away from that. You'll be able to log in with offline, Mojang or Microsoft. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what mods and features you want to see, and yeah, let's try and get to work and make this happen. I'm really excited for the future of Notro Client. We've got some big things in the works. And although I didn't want to compete with the big clients, I think we've got some pretty unique ideas that you're not going to see anywhere else. We've got obviously my audience and all of you guys out there. You're going to make this client happen for us. We should be able to get a pretty solid player base, I would say, with me making videos on it and maybe a couple of other people as well. So yeah, who knows what the future holds for Notro Client, but I'm very excited about it, and hopefully you guys are as well. So yeah, that's basically just a quick video this week, just explaining that a new version of Notro Client is coming. thing. So make sure you guys go in the comments down below. Tell me what you want. Let's build up the hype. Let's get excited about this. And yeah, Notro Client, new version coming very soon. Definitely subscribe and ring the notification bell so you know all the latest details on Notro Client, about when it's going to possibly come out. And yeah, definitely let me know what you want in the comments. So thank you guys all for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Peace.